The person who wrote the book.
Hey, what's going on, world? What is going on, world? We'll give it another couple of minutes before we jump on and talk about what it means to back the Black man. The Black man came with the support, love that you share and offer him. We're gonna talk about what that looks like tonight as we go in there. Good. Make it happen.
Make it happen, Captain.
Right. So if you are on the Facebook side, I think you can still drop in the chat and everything like that. All that fancy technology stuff.
I don't know nothing about.
We here. We got some information that we're gonna use this technology to give to you. So we made it here tonight, and hopefully y'all can make it here tonight too to get this information going. Make it happen. Let's make it happen. So let's get started. Let's get started now. Folks can jump in.
Let's go.
All right. So go back to sharing the screen. First. All right. Y'all can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
That's okay. Cool. And let me hit the record button. Let me see.
It's recording.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. So what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Backing the Black Man. I am James, aka Dat Yoga Dude with Feel Free to Feel Free. Excited to bring this event to you along with the Green Foundation and Amplify. And we have our amazing, lovely.
Hey, everybody. I'm Latanya Tolan, the founder and CEO of Soul Care for Black Clinicians. So happy to be here because y'all know I love my Black man.
Hey. It feels good to be loved. It feels good to be loved.
Yes.
All right. We don't have a whole bunch of time tonight, fellas and those that love the fellas. So we know that we can't deep dive into all the stuff that we know we need to really let you know what it means to back and be back and that for the Black man. But we didn't want to leave y'all hanging. So we'll talk about this a little bit later. Stay tuned for the whole introduction to this, but we're doing a whole retreat. When we're talking about Black men, we know it's different levels to it, and creating a safe space where you feel understood and feel validated is something that we got something for you. All right, so more details to come with this Validating the Black Man retreat. But before we go there, let's go to my backyard real quick. All right, so I live in Riverside, and it's Riverside. If you've ever been out here, it's Riverside. I think Black people in general are about 6% of the population. I come into my backyard, I open the fence, come in, it's late at night, I'm ready to go in. I see my neighbors having a little get together. It was a dog party, which is like, okay, that's different. And I get to my back door, and it's another brother in the backyard. He was the only one in there. And before I even get to open the door, he gives me one of the biggest, most distinctive head nods I ever seen in my life from another Black man. He gave me a head nod that made me open the door, put my stuff down, and come back outside and say what's up to him. Came over to him, shook his hand, y'all know how it go. Black man handshake, do what we did. And I started talking to him. And then I started listening to him. The brother started letting me know about the relationship that he had with his father and the one that he wished he had now that his father's passed. the relationship with his baby mama, the relationship with his son, the relationship with his current girlfriend, what he was going through at work, what he was going through inside, the fears and anxieties. The brother just let me understand and let me in to his life, all because of a head nod. And all because I recognized him as another Black man in the space that it wasn't too many of us in. As this man started telling me more and more about what he was going through, he started to relax a little bit more, get more comfortable, and share a more in-depth side of who he was, who he wanted to be, and who he saw himself as, but also some of the reasons that kept him from being that person. We was talking, we was chopping it up, we was doing as we were doing, just sitting there. We was in our little corner of the yard ourselves. Nobody really paying attention to the Black dudes over there doing whatever the Black dudes do. But we really built the bond in a short amount of time and really connected just from a head nod. Now, I know you have had similar situations to this. Or you had that head nod, you had that recognition and that conversation. And I want to break it down for you really quickly. That head nod was that signal that I see you. I see you in this space. You see me in this space. When we see each other, it's a point of connection. It's a point of relation. And that is one of the most important things that we miss sometimes in mental health. Not being seen, not having that connection. It can be because of our own barriers, just being real, or it can be barriers in the people who are trying to help us, who can't see past whatever we got going on and can't really give us that acknowledgement and that recognition, that connection that we need. After the head nod, after I saw him, beyond even just the outside, after I saw him, I was able to really listen to him and validate and reconnect with him, have that recognition, seeing him for who he was and what he was going through, not just, oh man, I got this, I got that. No, like being able to really hear him and understand him. And as I did that, I saw him come out even more. I saw the real him coming out even more. And he was able to open up and share about the things that was going on in his life, because he wanted to move past just having these things going on in his life to being able to heal. And then he finally asked me for a recommendation. Now, I didn't give it to him. I didn't tell him I was a therapist. I didn't tell him I was a yoga. I didn't tell him anything about me. I just listened to him. And then at the end, he was like, well, you know, I'm trying to make it happen, doing the thing, you know, what about you? And that's when I was able to make a recommendation. I was able to let him know that there are some mental health services out there, some other brothers you can talk to, some yoga things that you can do, and some ways that can help you deal with these tough situations in life. You know, we exchange information and everything like that. But that wasn't the only time that process had happened with me. From a head nod to a conversation, to a recommendation, to someone having an impact on their life and changing from that point in day and time. Brothers connected back with his children. He had an 18-year-old son who he almost gave up on because he felt like, oh, I can't talk to him now. He too busy all around his mama putting stuff in his head and everything. He was able to go after the job that he wanted to do. He thought he was just doing a job to get by. He's like, man, maybe I could do something else. And he was able to get himself back in its shape where he felt comfortable about his own body, just because of a recommendation. Now, I like to break this down into a little bit more about me, all right? So I really got into yoga after I almost died. I'm working, I'm going to school, trying to balance relationships. I'm trying to balance building a career, building my business. And one Saturday, I remember it was a Saturday because it was a Saturday that they had a Juneteenth event. And I was leaving the Juneteenth event, headed to another event, headed to do some more work. And I stopped at this restaurant. I said, let me get a little beer or something like that while I'm working and stuff so I can just relax and chill while I'm doing some work on the computer before I go to the next one. Stayed up all night, didn't get no sleep. But that's how I usually run. That's how I do my thing. I get back in the car. Let me take a little nap before I go. I take off down the freeway, 60 freeway, heading westbound from Riverside. Smashing down the freeway. Head nodding, falling asleep just a little bit. That's usual for me. I'm always tired on the road. But this time I pass out.
Oh, yikes.
I fall asleep doing about 80 miles an hour.
Ooh.
Bam! I slam right into the center divider. My car do a full 180 and spins around in the freeway, going across lanes. And all of a sudden, I can see the back of the freeway sign. I know I'm not facing the right direction. Car whizzing by me. Glass shattered in the windshield. I'm cut, I'm bloody. I'm out of my mind. So I try to get out the car. I get out the car.
Ooh.
Cars going by me. I don't know how I didn't kill myself,
Mm.
or I'm not in jail right now because I killed somebody else. It was at that moment that I knew I need to pause. I need to take a break. And I've been hard-headed my whole life. Hard, dude. But luckily I had some supervisor at one of my jobs tell me about yoga. I'm like, yeah, black men don't do no yoga. But she kept on telling me, you should try yoga. Finally, I tried the yoga. I get to the studio, I'm the only man in there. And everybody else is like 20 years older. I get in there. I get on the mat, and the first thing I realize on the mat is like, this mat is a little funky. It stink a little bit. And we in this yoga studio, and we start doing these breathing exercises. And as we doing this breathing exercises, I feel a little bit calmer. I feel a little bit more relaxed. And then we start doing the stretching and moving. Then we get into what we call the downward facing dog. Whew. And I started shaking, I started sweating, I started kicking my butt. All my hardness just was out. I'm looking around, seeing these ladies just laughing at me. But at the end of the class, at the end of that yoga session, all those jobs, all those relationships, all those things I was trying to balance just had a place to rest for a second.
Mm.
It was then that I decided. So when I talk about that hard dude being hard as a man, that's just the acronym that I use. The H is for hurt. A lot of times we're not even, we hurt and we think hurt is our personality. Always in defense, always on guard. Then I moved to that place where I was aware I was hurt, but I didn't know what to do about it. And after I moved from that place of awareness of hurt, I realized that, man, I needed to do something about it. And I was able to reach out and get some help with yoga. And then when I got that yoga, I moved into that D for decided. I decided that I was going to use every tool I had to change my life and be different as a person. Deal with the stress, balance the relationships, and not push myself to the edge where my mental health, my physical health, and my relationship health wasn't in jeopardy every time I stepped outside the house. As we go through this process of dealing with our own mental health, building that recognition, building that connection, we all have our places where we're in this hard process. We all hurt. Sometimes we're aware of it, sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're ready to deal with it. Sometimes we decided we ain't gonna be hurt no more. We all just in different places with it. But I know being in my practice, my meditation, my prayer, my yoga, my mental health practices has really helped me to connect, to recognize and acknowledge, man, this is a safe place I can be in, a safe place I can create. So I want to share how important it was for me to put this on and then bring on a professional, bring on a licensed mental health professional. And not only that, but a Black woman who cares about Black men. And I want to hear her perspective. And after we hear from her perspective, I want to hear your perspective. I want to jump in and ask y'all some questions and get some information from you about what it means to back the Black man for mental health and beyond.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your story and testimony and all of that, my brother. That was something that I learned about you just right now. So thank you for sharing. Yes. So for me as a Black woman, I see a part of what I do as imperative in backing and supporting and seeing the Black man. And I'll tell you guys a little secret. Black men are actually my favorites clients. I have several Black men in my private practice, my private mental health practice. And the reason Black men are my favorite clients are because Black men are the leaders of our families, the leaders of our communities, and there's a lot of pain that they carry every single day. And really being able to support Black men really means to me supporting also Black women. Because if our Black men, as the leaders of our families and communities, if our Black men are okay, our women, we're going to be just fine. Our kids are going to be just fine. Not that we don't have our own traumas to work on and all of that, because we do, but with the men being the leaders, it's just imperative. It's my humble duty to support the Black man. And so one of the things that I shared before with James is that years ago, I had gone on vacation. I was actually in Taiwan. And so obviously, as a Black woman, I'm going to stand out in Taiwan, right? And so I was actually one time at this temple with one of my friends who's Latina. And so this Black woman came up to me and started talking, just kind of checking in. That's just what we do as a people, right? So that was fine. So then we left there and then we go to this tea house that's like inside this amazing, like beautiful mall. And this brother walks by and he kind of looks at me and I look at him and it was kind of like, we didn't do the head nod, but it was kind of like we knew we had each other. You know what I'm saying? And then he left and then he came back and did the same thing. And so my friend was like, oh, I think that guy likes you. And I was like, no, he's doing what he's supposed to do, just like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. We're checking on each other. He's checking on me to make sure I'm good because we're the only two that are here that look like us. So my friend, again, Latina, I explained to her the whole thing about it's something innate in Black people. That's just what we do. If you see another Black person, that's just what it is. We're going to acknowledge each other, and like James talked about before, the head nod, that's what brothers do, and I appreciated that this brother was really coming back to check on me, and as a Black woman, it felt good, right? And so it also really was very reminiscent to me of the fact that this brother knew what he really should be doing and that he must have been in a good place enough to be able to do that, right? And so just to the point of, we have to check on our Black men. We have to check on, also checking your Black women too. It's not about us tonight, but I would be remiss to not say that. But yeah, so with all of that, a lot of the things that I really take to heart in my practice with Black men are really being able to get them to a place where they're really vulnerable with me, a lot of times more vulnerable than they are with the women in their lives. But then once they know they can achieve that with me, then they're able to replicate that. And then it just makes for a beautiful situation all the way around. Healing can begin, wholeness can begin, they start to feel understood and they're able to have vocabulary to then go back and share with other people in their lives about what they're feeling, right? And so it's just something that to me, it's as vital as breathing. Like really supporting the Black man is something that is key. It's a big part of the job of the work that I do. And I love it, so it's something that we need to make sure that we do. And I'm just happy to be here tonight to share with y'all. And this is just the beginning. Like James said in the beginning, we have some awesome stuff planned. This is just a little tap, just a little foot in the door for you guys to kind of get to know us and get to know what we're about and why it is important for us to support Black men. So.
Thank you. And you said it's important as breathing, and I do have some breathing techniques for us tonight. So
yes,
when we're talking about checking in with the Black man, first, it's about checking in with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to check in with ourselves is a deep breath and an acknowledgement. It's that same thing. We got to give a head nod to ourselves. Where we're at, what's going on with us. We got to acknowledge what's happening. Where's the tightness? Where's the tension? Where's the frustration? Where's the emotion? And then we have to move to that place of, are we ready to deal with it? Are we ready to address it? Are we ready to open up to ourselves? Real quick, one more story before we get into a breathing exercise and doing a little movement. I have a 15-year-old godson. He's my nephew, basically. I take him out, we go hang out and stuff. All of a sudden, he shut down on me. So I said, hey man, we're gonna go to the salad shop first. We're not gonna go get no burgers. Shut down, head dropped down. Oh man, I don't want to go. And I told him, it's never me not caring. It's always me loving you. And he was confused, like, what do you mean? How you care about me and you're not gonna take me to the burger place? How you care about me doing that? I'm like, nah, man, it don't work like that. Let me let you understand that I don't care if you want a burger, I don't care if you want to do this, I don't care. Your feelings ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm here to make sure you develop, and I'm here to make sure you have the tools to be able to do that. So pick your head up, take a deep breath, and go ahead and let's finish doing what we got to do. He was resisting and all that kind of stuff at first, but he took that deep breath, he picked his head up, and of course he forgot all about whatever he wanted to forget about, and we went and got our burger because he did what he needed to do. And I looked at him and I realized, like, man, I still shut down myself as a grown man. It don't look like that, but it still is a shutdown that I do inside myself. When I get frustrated, when I get irritated, when I'm like, I don't want to hear that, I don't want to deal with that, I don't want to deal with what you got going on. I still have that same shutdown within myself. And when I'm breathing, I'm able to get past that shutdown and be present and in a relationship and in a situation that's happening right now. So wherever you are, I want you to sit up nice and tall, because he had his head down and that was a major, right? You gotta pick your head up. Sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back and down, bring your chest up and your chin level. We're gonna take 3 deep belly breaths. Now, when we breathe in here, we're gonna breathe in through our nose and fill our lungs up, feel the chest cavity, feel the ribs expand, feel the muscles in between the ribs, and breathe all the way down to our diaphragm. The belly button rises, we feel the bottom of the belly expand. And then as we collapse that breath, everything slowly comes back towards the body. The tension leaves on the exhale, and on the inhale, we get more strength to keep going. We get more guidance to go beyond our frustration or shutdown. We get more understanding of who we authentically are and who we choose to be for ourselves, for our friends, for our families. We get an understanding that every time we breathe in and breathe out, it is moving past the things that have put on us to move to who we genuinely and authentically are. The principles of self-care and wellness is mental health, physical health, spiritual health, communal health. And when we breathe, we get to tap into all those principles in just one deep breath. We feel connected to ourselves. We feel connected physically, mentally, spiritually, and communally. So as we continue to break down what all those mean, that mental health, the physical health, the spiritual health, the communal health, first thing we got to do is learn to breathe. So we're going to take 5 of the deepest breaths we have taken all week. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. I don't even have to tell y'all it's been a long week. So we're going to take 5 deep breaths here. Relax your face, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Wherever you are, if you feel safe, go ahead and close your eyes. If not, just look at the tip of your nose. Just find that focus, find that concentration, just to let outside things go and be outside things. It's more important inside. On the count of 3, we take a deep breath in through the nose and out of the nose. 1, 2, 3. Deep inhale and long, slow exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. deep inhale, breathe in. And a long, slow exhale. As you're checking in with how you feel, I want you to think about those principles: physical health, communal, family, relational health, your mental health, your spiritual health. What sides, what principles need a little bit more? What are you doing on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis for your principles of wellness? What place are you lacking? We need a little bit more salad in our diet. We'll need a little bit more conversation with our spouse, our kids, our coworkers. Where are we lacking to build in that mental health, that physical health, that whole wellness? And as you just process that really quickly, we're gonna go to our, I wanna go here first. We'll go here. I wanna ask y'all some questions, and if y'all could ask us some questions, that'd be great. And if you need to, you could drop it in the chat and we'll go there. But question I got for you, LaTanya, how you feeling?
I feel really relaxed. It's been a really long week and a long day, so that was great for me. Thank you. How you feel?
I feel amazing. I feel whenever I'm able to be in a place of service, especially the brothers, I feel like I'm in purpose and alignment, and that makes me feel amazing. So I have a question for you, LaTanya, as we go in. When was the first time you saw that it was important to back the Black man? What is your relationship with backing and supporting Black men?
You know, I have been very blessed my whole life. My dad has been in my life my entire life. I have uncles, cousins, brothers, really good male friends. So yeah, I mean, I think my whole life I've known that. And just from a clinical perspective, for many years, I worked as a therapist with kids in the school system. And every kid had a different situation with their fathers, and so there was a few Black fathers that stuck out to me, particularly one that was raising his son by himself. And I actually still talk to that father, and the son now is like 27, so that was many years ago. And another father who was a father of a daughter and was really, really struggling trying to parent her after he had been released from being incarcerated. And so I just knew that even though these two fathers, their stories were different, they still needed my support. And I was just like honored to be able to do that. So I think my whole life I've known the importance of Black men, right? And to your question, in terms of like really having a different kind of understanding about supporting and backing the Black man, that probably came, through the service of these children that were on my caseload 15 years ago.
Dope. And we thank you so much. And we got some powerful Black men on the webinar. These are some brothers who literally have shaped and molded my life, and I wouldn't be on this webinar right now if it wasn't for these two brothers. Just want to get y'all perspective on when have y'all felt most supported by other Black men or by the community? When have y'all felt most supported as a Black man? And we got you on camera, Mr. Epps, if you'd like to, there we go.
Sure. I think key times in my life when I had to make decisions. I moved here from Philadelphia about 30 years ago. Big life-changing decision. Part of it couldn't have been possible without the support of other people, both family and friends, to make such a change. and then to build up a new support network out here and meet people like you, James, who are investing in our men now, especially in what I think is a pretty hostile environment. So I think it really helps. I think this has been really important to me, which is one of the reasons I'm here, because I think we show our support for others, and that reinforces our support for ourselves. So I just think things like this, it's one of the reasons I rushed over here, because I wanted to show that we have to support one another, that is really interlocking pieces. And if we can support one another, then nothing can stop us.
Thank you. Yeah, and you not only talk about it, but you actively support other Black men, and I appreciate you continuously doing that in the community and beyond. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If anybody else want to add anything that's on tonight, cool. If not, all right, there we go.
I'll can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I've felt most supported as a Black man. I think really through my whole life, I've had some great examples of what a Black man is supposed to be. You know, starting with my dad, you know, who's, you know, my hero. And then I had like a strong three, you know, that were there for all of, you know, the different things. So it was my dad, there's my Uncle Roy, and there was my pastor growing up. You know, whatever it was, whatever it looked like, I could call on them at any time of the day or the night. And, you know, I could get an answer, I could get a better understanding, I could get prayer, I could get, you know, a whooping if I needed it, you know, like not physically, but just, you know, like whatever the case may be, like I could get things put into the proper perspective, and the support was there. And I think here more recently, you know, all three of those people are still there. They're still, you know, a part of my life. But then here more recently, for instance, when I lost my mom, you know, I have networks of men that I'm around. And, you know, I had like 25 people plus, you know, basically representing as pallbearers at my mom's funeral. You know, I feel like my mom had, you know, a large reach in terms of like just the love that her and my dad provided to people. And they gave it right back to me. And, you know, like even with just putting the funeral on the internet, like James, you showed up, you know what I mean? So like the support has always been there. And, you know, those are just two examples that come to mind in this moment.
Appreciate you. And like I was saying before, you, like you said, yeah, the love of your parents, and especially the love from Black men that you had, just spilled out into me, especially at a very vulnerable time. I was like 21, 22, just started working for the job. And as soon as you seen me, I was little bro up under your wing, man. And you gave me a lot of confidence and direction, and even doing what I'm doing and stepping out and speaking and sharing my voice. I think the first time I ever spoke at a school, it was with you. And I could not do it alone. And we spoke, man. I'm never going to forget your line about the great philosopher, Aubrey Graham, he used to say. And I can't remember what it was after that, but the great philosopher, Aubrey Graham, I think one of them lines or whatever, but we got those kids going at the school, man. So, so this is the part where I'm gotten a little emotional, because some amazing men showed up and supported me. And that's okay. You know, that's okay. As you said before, a lot of times we feel like we are in hostile places where we can't get emotional. We can't let ourselves be vulnerable and be seen. And even with my own father, understanding the speed and of the transition and what a man is supposed to be is amazing. So you have to hurry up and catch up to what society is saying and everything, and hurry up and catch up to also your own feelings and your own sense of who you are. And in that speed of transition to being a modern Black man right now, or staying this type of Black man or whatever it is, a lot can be lost. But when you have the support of other Black men in the community, you won't be lost. You'll feel yourself, you'll feel understood. So like I said, we only in the tip of the iceberg today. We are so we working with an organization. They said, hey, just come together and do about 30 minutes to have a conversation. Well over 30 minutes. We knew we was gonna go over 30 minutes, but we want to do it. And so we only had 30 minutes to do this. So we want to really, as we were talking about this, we were like, yo, we need to do a whole thing. So we put together this validating the Black man retreat. As I started my yoga practice, I was the only Black man in the yoga studio. I came in as an angry Black man. I was probably reading a whole bunch of, literature and information on Blackness and everything. I was just really in that place of I'm an angry Black man. And I felt like nobody was going to understand me. I felt like nobody was going to be able to support me in what I was going through. But luckily, the practice of yoga helped me to open up some more and see the support that was around me and see those who really cared and loved and nurtured me and how I could connect with that. And so we put together this validating the Black man retreat because we know it's a lot of other brothers who don't feel understood in their roles as a father, as a husband, as a brother, who don't feel like they're seen and heard, who want to take that step into being more open and vulnerable, but don't know how to share and holding it for so
Or receive.
or relieve or receive.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They also may have, relationship issues and may want to improve them, but maybe don't know how to do that. They also may have racing thoughts and just 1,000 things on their minds, right? And one of them I always think about is everybody just trying to get home safely at the end of the day, right? That's a big, big thing that, Black men and women, we definitely are dealing with, really trying to just get home safely. Right. And then of course, having goals that they want to achieve. So this retreat is going to be so awesome. We have some amazing things that we're going to be doing and talking about with you guys. And just like, I know I'm super stoked about it. And I know, James, you are too.
Yeah. Super excited about it. Can't wait for it to happen. So we'll be sharing some more information about it here. There's a quick link there. And so it is it's an investment because we're putting it all together and stuff like that. And for those of you who are ready to do that, we put a little discount on it for it because we don't want your mental health to break up your financial health. So we put a little discount on it. If you sign up now by the 1st of June, you can jump on in there and do that. But even if it's not for you, go ahead and share it with another brother. It's going to be an amazing retreat. We're going to do yoga. We're going to talk about those pillars of mental health, the physical, the mental, the spiritual wellness. And we're going to build a community. If you don't have one, or if you want to develop one where the men are focused on improving, we build a community here. All right. So I thank y'all so much. Thank you, man, for showing up. And thank you for those who are showing up for Black men, Black women, Black babies showing up. You can check me out at thatyogadude.com. If you don't know, now you know.
Mhm.
Saying that. And where can they find you?
You guys can also find me at soulcareforblackclinicians.com. You also can email me right there, support@soulcareforblackclinicians.com. And again, Soul Care for Black Clinicians on Instagram as well.
Yes, sir. In yoga, we always end with the word namaste. And the word namaste is a word that means thank you, hello, goodbye. I see you. Real recognize real. So as always, feel free to feel free. And namaste.
Namaste.
Thank y'all so much.
Thanks to everybody. See you soon.
Thank you.